thing is, last night, I was in the call with a bunch of people, just chilling, and, well, I got a message, kind of a panicked message from Jay on every single account I have, pretty much, letting me know I needed to look at this tweet right now. That tweet being this. All right, so he sends me this. My YouTube soulmate, Internet Unwind. I didn't quite know what to make of this. Because the thing is, the guy doesn't upload and he hadn't streamed in a while. I just figured, you know, why not just make the videos? I doubt it's going to be a big deal. Whatever. Just looking at his history and goofing on him. Who cares? Unfortunately, what I did was I went and tried to download the video. Something went wrong when I tried to download the video. As you can see, well, you can't see it. Let me fix that. So as you can see here, it says 35, well, you might not be able to see it, might be too small, but it says 35 minutes right here. But then if you click play, it's less than a second. Something happened when I tried to download the video, tried to download the VOD, and basically it failed. So unfortunately, I did not get the VOD, unfortunately. I tried checking to see if it's corrupt, see if maybe I could put it into a different video file. Couldn't do it. Luckily, though, I did happen to catch most of the stream before he took it down. So we can go over some of the talking points that were brought up. None of which were actually very important whatsoever. I didn't really make a whole lot of harsh criticism about or anything. It was mostly, the first video was mostly, well, the first half of the video, right? Because it was a two-part video. The first part was just looking at his history. There wasn't even a whole lot of speculation or anything, and there's a little bit in there, but not much. But it was mostly just looking over his history, right? Just like, hey, this is an interest. This guy was all over the place. Let's go and look at that. Second part was clowning on him for stuff he did. But anyway, so as you can see here, YouTube soulmate. But if you click on it, video is removed by the uploader. Interesting. I've never seen him delete a stream before. I could be wrong. Maybe he's done a bunch of other ones and deleted them, but I haven't seen any evidence of that. So I just, it's odd. Interesting. So I just screen capped some stuff. Screen capped some stuff. You simping, bro? Just, goofing. I'm not going to add him or anything. Nobody add him. Just let him be. I mean, it's pretty clear that this isn't going to go anywhere important or interesting anyway, really. So I caught right after I took that screenshot, right? I caught that he had deleted it, but I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just processing or something. Maybe it's just processing. He's gonna respond to me, but then delete it before, as far as anybody knows, I even saw it. But then he confirmed it in this little thread here. You didn't stream. Yes, I did. Oh man, did you delete it? Yep. Come on, next time just put it unlisted so people can watch later if they missed it. Yeah, I got you. So he didn't even unlist it. So I can't even go back through the video, which is why if I click on Jay's link, it just says it's dead because he didn't unlist it, he didn't private it, it's deleted. You can even see that if you Google the name of the video, it's still on Google as well. But link is still broken. But he hasn't said anything since then because he doesn't care enough to bother probably. And I only do right now because it's just fun to talk about. This was originally supposed to be a single, about 40-minute video. It ended up being approximately 50 minutes in length. It's actually closer to 60, I guess. So I split it in two parts. But he couldn't get his mind off this fixation that I must be obsessed with him. The title says, I'm his YouTube soulmate. And then he's talking about how I'm talking about him when he doesn't even upload anymore. Right, I was talking about your history and a recent stream you did. Then talk about how you're currently some interesting YouTuber. I was talking about your past and something you did recently. Apparently that's obsession. I'm using his name for clout. Already off the bat. These are like some of the first things he brings up. The fact that my content is centered around talking about other people. To an extent, that's true. There's a lot of stuff I do that's talking about other people. But I love the argument that talking about other people is somehow like a problem. Reviewers, journalists, people who write stories all the time. Guess what? They talk about other people. Apparently only on YouTube Only on YouTube is it ever really viewed as being like an actual valid argument. Yeah, but you just talk about other people. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The other argument I dislike, and it's like all of these constant tropes that you see used when nobody has a valid argument to say. You're obsessed. That's not an argument. That's you trying to discredit me by saying something about me. That's you trying to deflect everything that was said by making up a new thing that has nothing to do with anything that was said. Saying that I'm using his name for clout also does the same thing. Trying to, deflect to the fact that, oh, I'm talking about him, so I must be hungry for his tons of clout that he has. I could talk about anybody I want. Do you really think if I was looking for clout, if I was clout chasing, I would go for a guy who doesn't upload hardly ever, and when he does, he gets like maybe 14,000 views? Why wouldn't I make a video about anyone else on the platform? I legitimately thought it was funny to talk about you. That's all it is. Here's another issue I have with that argument in general when it's used, right? The idea of clout chasing. If you're punching up, you're clout chasing. If you're punching down, you're clout chasing, and you're a bad guy. No matter what, if you're talking about other people, you're clout chasing. It couldn't possibly be that you find something interesting to talk about there. It couldn't possibly be that there's something interesting happening, and it couldn't possibly be that you think there's something worth talking about. It couldn't possibly be that you're just trying to entertain people. It couldn't possibly have anything to do with any of that. It's gotta be that they're trying to feed off my clout, my amazing relevance, but then I talk about not being a YouTuber anymore and not uploading. He actually used that argument. He doesn't upload anymore, right? He used the argument that he doesn't upload anymore, but he's still streaming every couple months or whatever. He in that stream talked about how he's going to continue re-uploading his old videos. Okay, but you're not a YouTuber anymore. Okay, but you're going to continue putting content on the platform like a YouTuber would. Well, here's another issue with the whole idea that I was using his name for clout, right? He's used companies, people, and actions like lawsuits as clickbait in a deceptive and manipulative way. I didn't really go into that much at all, but I don't clickbait. I mean, not in the sense that I'm manipulative or deceptive. When I say something in the title, it's typically representative of what's in the video. I don't think I've ever done anything that was not representative of what's actually shown in the video. Hood had a history of using whatever he could. Anyway, my point is, constantly over-exaggerated, constantly clickbaiting and lying about things in his titles, even stuff that didn't have anything to do with the video itself. Not necessarily a big problem, but the idea that he uses the fact that I talked about people, kind of ridiculous, because, I mean, even people that talk about people aren't necessarily doing anything bad. In many cases, they're exposing real things. In my case, this was just funny. I would argue that things like the Hanson video was justified because I was pointing out a lot of things that a respected journalist was lying about or completely incapable of understanding what he was saying. The guy that shot his gun on stream, felt like that was important to talk about. Now, I called his channel a train wreck. Why'd I do that? He seems to think it's because I was saying he wasn't successful. Now, either he's stupid, which I believe, or, and this is totally plausible as well, he missed the point. The entire video was about his history. This video here, the Trainwreck channel you've never heard of, is about all of the ridiculous actions that he took and was involved in throughout his years on YouTube. Those situations is what made him a train wreck. Like a psychotic person, right? Like if somebody's like completely psychotic and they're just lunatic running around, they're a train wreck. They're messed up. They're a train wreck. The channel is banned. He was banned twice from YouTube. He's banned multiple times from Twitch. This is why I was referring to him as a train wreck, because of the ridiculous amount of controversy. But he reached 100K subs twice, and he claimed he could do it again in 3 months too. And maybe he could. I don't really care. I don't really care if he could. My point wasn't that he wasn't successful. It was that despite the success he did have, the other stuff on his channel and the other stuff he got himself involved in is why they were banned. That's what made him a train wreck. He just couldn't stop getting himself into these situations. And that's why the thumbnail listed the main topics that I wanted to talk about. The actions that made him a train wreck, not the lack of success. Pranks, doxing, theft, and jail. He brings up at one point in this stream brought up, because it's not existing anymore, he brought up at one point in the stream the fact that I mentioned the jail thing because he was arrested regarding a break-in and theft of $50,000 worth of merchandise from a competitive company, or a competitor company, rather. Now, I never really said anything about, like, well, why hasn't he addressed this or anything? But for some reason, he thought that was the reason I mentioned it. I never said that any resolution came to the case. I, as a matter of fact, said I would assume that since he hasn't talked about it, and since he's not in jail, that he probably was found innocent. He actually said that he wasn't. That he's still going through the process with it. But I never said he should have said anything about it. I merely noted that he hadn't, so I didn't have a resolution to give anybody in the video. But apparently, by me doing that, I was saying that, why hasn't he told us yet? Ah! This is what I'm talking about with this guy. He either is willfully ignorant or legitimately can't comprehend what is going on beyond his own little thing. He tried to use his Social Blade stats to prove that he's more successful than I am or will ever be, because he gets more views a month with me than his larger channel with his pre-existing following that he's had since he was a large creator. Just because you've fallen from grace doesn't mean you're not still failing now. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a success. Never said I was a success. I never compared myself to him. But for some reason, he, to make himself feel better, decided to compare himself to me, because that was the only thing he could do, was to some kind of gotcha by comparing his Social Blade stats and say, look, I've got more subscribers than him. Look, I've got more viewers than him. Look, all the work he puts into his content. Look, his camera is so clean. The video is so clean. What a loser. Yeah, apparently because I put effort into my content, and because I actually try and make an entertaining piece of content, I try and make content look good. Apparently that makes me the loser because I am not as successful as him. That's the key, everyone. That is the key to life. That is the key to being happy in life. The point is that he missed the point of everything I did say that he talked about. He either missed the point or deflected to make it sound like a stupid point without actually paying attention to what I said. I barely even noted that I just thought it was funny that he's recording from his phone with his actual streaming setup in front of him, because I thought it was funny that you would choose to record there instead of go someplace more comfortable or whatever. Like, go to another party, like sit on your couch and record that or something. Instead, he goes and sits in front of his computer with a good mic and instead streams from his phone, where he doesn't have the ability to control levels, doesn't have as good a camera angle, doesn't have good audio. He's constantly having to touch the screen to move chat and things like that. Apparently, though, because I put in effort and I'm not as successful, apparently that's what makes me a loser. Here's the funny thing. If you look at my channel and look at my videos, let's go back to that page real quick. You'll notice that I don't clickbait, in the sense that I don't use titles that I think, for the most part, are going to get, like, Mr. Beast's $1 Million Secret. This is one of the most clickbaity videos I've ever done, and it's directly representative of what happens in the video. I talk about the secrets of his success, or at least what I believe to be some of the secrets of his success. But no one's got Real Orphan Nightmares. No one's looking for a video called Real Orphan Nightmares. Markiplier's mad at YouTube. That's literally just what it's in the video. I don't try that hard to work on my titles because I feel cheap if I play that stupid game. But if I did play that stupid game, I'm sure he'd be noting that I did. I'm sure he'd be complaining that I did when he was looking at my channel. But yeah, so basically, because I put effort into this, and because I actually, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it to the best of my ability. That's interestingly, apparently something he doesn't believe in, which is very, very good to know, that since he's trying to become a city councilman. If you're really passionate about something, don't put your all into it. Do the bare minimum that you can to succeed. Okay. So long story short, apparently I'm obsessed with him. He has a history of clickbaiting at a ridiculous level, but complains because I talk about people. He claimed to be, like, being sued, which I showed in the video. The number of things that he mentioned that have any actual value and weren't flexing on me were next to zero. I really wish I had the stream downloaded like I thought I did, because, my word, can I just say, it near the end of the stream, he talks, I can't even back this up because I don't have the footage, But if you watch the second video and see all the stuff he talks about, you probably won't be surprised. At the end of the stream, one of the things he starts talking about, and I missed how he got into this, I just happened to catch that he was talking about it. He starts talking about how gravity is only a theory. It's only a theory. What are you talking about? It's only a theory. He was like arguing with Papa Sage or somebody in chat about how gravity is only a theory. I believe he typed in theory of gravity. Yeah. Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. A theory of gravitation is a description of a law of long-range forces that electrically neutral bodies exert on one another. Yeah, he didn't read the whole thing though. But what he ended up doing is he just kind of like highlighted one line, highlighted another one, highlighted another one. But like this was some kind of gotcha that gravity is only a theory because they don't understand how it works and it's not explained. But it is partially explained. Things like dinosaurs and things like that, they're not like strictly defined as fact because the understanding of how it works can go deeper than we currently understand. So right now we may think we understand how it works, but it's still not defined. Evolution is still also classified as a theory because we don't know exactly how it all happened. If evolution happened or not. He thinks he's got a point, but then he actually Googles it again a second later to reread it. And I don't know what he typed in that time because he didn't hold his phone up to the screen that time. He was just facing himself because the whole time he's just doing this and then he turns his phone around to show the screen when he wants to talk about something. But this time he didn't do that. And then he Googled it and then reads the thing and it said the law of gravity. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to... The laws of physics is how they're referred to. And the laws of physics are things that we know exactly that there's a cause and effect. So like if you throw something up, it's going to fall because of gravity. The thing we don't understand is the theory about what causes gravity, how gravity functions. We don't know how that works. Exactly. Like we're not positive that we've gone as deep as we can into that. So the theory is what it is. It's a theory in the sense that we don't know for sure that we know everything about this. Is gravity theory or law? This is a law. Einstein's general theory of relativity explains how gravity works by describing gravity as the effect of curvature on of four-dimensional spacetime. So long story short, if he would have left that video up, we would have a lot more to talk about right now. The little bit that I did, I was actually in a call with some people last night when I got sent this, and I ended up just sitting there dumbfounded listening to him just kind of drool on his phone, and all he could really do was just flex. Like, I wasn't making a gotcha video or whatever, right? I was making a video about some ridiculous stuff. It's honest, video about ridiculous stuff. And for some reason, he felt that because a couple people DM'd him the video or whatever, that he needed to respond. But what was his response? Well, I've got more subscribers. I've got more viewers. I've got more followers. I made more money on YouTube. You haven't, and you tried too hard to make content. So I apparently I lost, guys. Apparently I took the L because I'm not a big YouTuber yet. If I ever am. This is a hobby for me. Unbelievable.